Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now we are going to start a completely new and very important section of Salesforce, which is security. Security is one of the most important topics for a Salesforce administrator because as an admin, you are not only responsible for creating objects, fields, automation, reports, and dashboard, you are also responsible for making sure that the users have the right access to the right information. For example, imagine we have three types of users in our company: sales user, sales manager, and HR user. Should all three users have access to the same data? Obviously not. A sales user might need access to leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, but they probably should not have access to sensitive HR information like employee salary, bank account, and performance rating. And even with the sales team, two users may not necessarily be allowed to see the same records. So Salesforce gives us layered security model that allows us to control access at different levels. And that's exactly what we are going to understand in today's video. So let's start with what is Salesforce security. Salesforce security is the collection of controls and permissions that determine who can access Salesforce, what they can do, what information they can see, and which records they can access. Salesforce provides access controls at the organization, object, field, and record levels. So, when we talk about Salesforce security, we are essentially answering four questions. Can this user enter Salesforce? Okay. And the other question would be, what can this user do? And then we can say which fields can this user see, and then which records can this user access. So these are those questions which are answered by different layers of security. Now let's understand why we even need all the security control. Imagine our Salesforce or contain customer information, sales information, revenue, employee information, financial information, support cases, business strategies. We obviously don't want every user to access everything. For example, a sales representative might need to see opportunity amount but should not necessarily see employee salary. Similarly, an HR employee might need access to employee salary but may not need access to sales opportunities. So our goal is not block everyone from everything. Our goal should be give user exactly the access they need to perform their job. This is commonly referred to as the principle of least privilege. Salesforce also recommends a permission set led approach to simplify and control access. So, Salesforce security helps us achieve three important things: protect sensitive information, prevent unauthorized access, and give users the access they actually need. Now, let's talk about authentication versus authorization. These two words sound similar, but they solve completely different problems. Let's first talk about authentication. So, authentication answers who are you. For example, when you log into Salesforce, you provide your credentials. Depending on your configurations, this may involve username, password, and identity verification. Salesforce checks whether you are actually the person you are claiming to be. If Salesforce successfully verifies you, that means your authentication is successful and you can enter in the org. Now let's talk about authorization. Authorization answers a different question. Now that I know who you are, what are you allowed to do? For example, Salesforce knows that Rahul is a sales user. Now, Salesforce needs to determine, can Rahul create opportunities? Can Rahul edit opportunities? Can he delete opportunities? Can he see other people's opportunities? So, those are authorization questions. So, remember, authentication is who are you, and authorization is what are you allowed to do. This distinction will become extremely important throughout our security section. Now let's talk about Salesforce security model. Salesforce provides four primary levels for controlling data access. The first one is organization, the second one is object, and the third one is field, and the fourth one is record. And each layer answers a different question. Now first, let's talk about organization level security. This controls access to your Salesforce organization as a whole. At this level, we can control things related to who can access the org, login policies, password policies, login hours, login location and IP restrictions, authentication, and identity controls. Salesforce specifically describes organization level controls as including authorized users, password policies, and limits on the login time and locations. So, in the organization level security, our main question should be, can this user securely enter in the Salesforce org or not? So you can simply say that organization level is equal to access to your Salesforce org. Now let's talk about object level security. Now suppose a person like Rahul successfully logs into Salesforce. Does that mean Rahul can access every object? No. That's where object level security comes in. Object level security determines whether a user can access a particular object and what they can do with the records of that object. For example, suppose our Salesforce org has lead, account, contact, opportunity, or maybe some custom object like employee. Rahul might have some accesses, like he has the access of lead where he can read, create, or edit records, and it also have the access of account where he can only read and edit, and he also have the access of opportunity where he can read, create, and edit all of them. But if we talk about the custom object employee, Rahul might did not have any access of that. So even though Rahul successfully logged into Salesforce, he does not automatically get access to every object. Object permissions can control whether users can create, read, edit, or delete records of an object. So for object level security, we can say that can this user access the object or not? Okay, I hope you understand. Now let's talk about field level security. Suppose Rahul have access to the employee custom object. Maybe because he is a manager, does that automatically mean he should see every field? Again, no. This is where field level security comes in. Imagine employee object contain employee name, department, email, salary, bank account, performance rating. We might want HR users to see salary, bank account, and performance rating, but sales manager might only see employee name, department, email, and not salary. So, field level security allows us to control access to individual fields even when the user has access to the object. Therefore, for field level security, we can say which field can this user can see or edit. And this is why object level security and field level security are not the same. Now let's talk about record level security. Now suppose Rahul has access to the opportunity object and he has permission to read and edit opportunities. Does that mean Rahul can see every opportunity in the company? Not necessarily. This is where record level security comes in. Record level security determines which individual records can this user access. For example, suppose Rahul owns ABC opportunity and Priya owns XYZ opportunity. If the organization's sharing model is restrictive, Rahul may be able to access ABC opportunity but not XYZ opportunity. Salesforce uses mechanisms such as organization wide defaults, role hierarchy, sharing rules, and manual sharing to control and extend record access. We will cover each of these in detail in upcoming videos. For now, just remember that if we are talking about object level security, that means you can say, can we access opportunities? And if we are talking about record level security, we can say, which opportunity records can you access? This distinction is extremely important. So let's put all four layers together. Imagine Rahul wants to access an employee salary. So the first thing we need to check, can Rahul enter in the Salesforce org? Okay, so that will gonna be organization level security. After we can confirm that Rahul can enter in the Salesforce org. Now we need to see, can Rahul access the custom employee object? That will gonna be object level security. After confirming that Rahul can access the custom employee object, we will check, can Rahul see the salary field in the custom object employee? So that will be field level security. If Rahul can access the salary field, he will be able to see the salary. So let's suppose Rahul did not have access to the salary field. So the result will be salary is not available to Rahul. Now let's try another scenario. Rahul wants to access ABC opportunity record. Now we will first check organization level. Okay, can Rahul log in into the Salesforce org? Okay, after we confirm that Rahul can log in into the Salesforce org, that means he has organization level security. Now we will check, can Rahul access opportunity? Now after checking that, we are checking if Rahul has the object level security or not. After checking the object level security, now we will check, can Rahul access the ABC opportunity record or not in that object. Okay, so that's how security layers work. So that was the concept I want everyone watching these videos to remember. Salesforce security can be thought of as a series of questions. Can they enter in Salesforce? Can they access the object? Can they see or edit the field? Can they access the record? If access fails at an earlier layer, the later layers can't simply grant access back. So if Rahul does not have the access to the opportunity object at all, giving him access to one specific opportunity record does not suddenly give him object access. Likewise, if Rahul can access the employee object but the salary field is hidden from him, record access alone does not make the fields visible. So that's it for the today's episode. Today we did not configure every security feature in Salesforce, and that is intentional. Instead, we built the foundation. Now you understand the Salesforce security is not just one feature. It is a collection of different layers working together. In the upcoming episodes, we are going to take each of these layers and configure them practically. We will start understanding users and organization level security. Then we will move on to profiles, permission sets, object level security, field level security, and finally record level security. So make sure you understand today's 4 layer model because we are going to keep coming back to it throughout the entire security section. So thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next lesson.